Hi, I'm Kaydee Dodge. I'm 19 years old and I'm an environmental educator at the Pueblo Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center. When I graduated high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I thought I wanted to go into film, actually, so all of the colleges I applied to were very film-oriented. I eventually got into one of the top colleges that I wanted to go to with a full-ride scholarship, and I was so excited. I was so excited to go and start studying and paving my path, and so I went and I started studying, and I ended up hating it. I did not like it. I didn't like my classes. I didn't like talking to my classmates about my classes. I just did not like it, but I didn't know what else to do because I had put all my eggs in one basket. I had put everything I had on film, and so I didn't know what else to do. I didn't think I had any other options. So I powered through until Christmas break, and I went home over Christmas break, and I was like, I don't like this. I told my parents, I really am not happy with what I'm doing, and I don't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. So after considering it long and hard, I ended up taking a break from college. And on my break, I decided to look for jobs, not only to support myself, but also to give me some semblance of what I wanted to do with my life. Eventually, I came across a position for an environmental educator at the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center, and I was like, this would be perfect for me. I've always loved the outdoors. I love hiking, I love camping, I love fishing, I love just being outside in general. And I also love teaching because it was a teaching position. I love little kids. I was an elementary school aide while I was in high school, and so I figured this would be perfect for me. Not only that, but my mom was a naturalist at our local state park, and she would always take me to work with her when I was little, and she would teach me about the outdoors. She would teach me about the rock formations and the plants and the animals, and she would show me how she taught because that was a teaching position as well. So I grew up in this field. So I applied and I got the job. Even though I had some experience in this field, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I was super nervous because I had never taught before. I had been in the classroom and helping in the classroom, but I had never been in front of the classroom before. And so I didn't know what to teach, I didn't know how to teach, but everyone at the Nature Center was super nice and super helpful. They gave me lots of packets on what to teach, and they gave me lots of pointers and personal pointers on how to teach it. And so after going over and over and over the packets, I figured, okay, I'm finally ready. My first few days of actual teaching, I was super nervous because even though I had gone over the packets and gone over everything that everyone had told me, I still didn't know how to put it in action. And I think the first few days I was pretty robotic as a teacher. I was just going over everything in the packets verbatim. But after the first few days, I was sitting at home thinking about all of the teachers that I had looked up to when I was a little kid, and I thought about what they all had in common, and what they all had in common was they were the super excited, rambunctious, all over the place teachers, and I was like, I want to be that teacher. I want to be all over the place and fun, making the kids laugh and giggle while teaching them at the same time. So I decided to incorporate that into my teaching. So the next day I went into teaching, I wore fun earrings that I made out of little plastic dinosaurs, and I wore a button-up shirt with strawberries and moths all over it, and I was like, okay, this is time for me to be Miss Frizzle. I was super all over the place, jumping around, telling them about the different plants and animals, being like, this one over here, and this one over here, and look at that up there! And the kids loved it. They were laughing the entire time, but they were also learning. I had teachers come up to me afterwards saying, we went over this stuff in class, but they didn't retain the information like they did with you. And that made me so happy. Not that they weren't retaining the information in the classroom, but that I had taught them something and that I made them laugh as well. Because they were having fun, and I think fun is the biggest part of learning. I think that if you have fun, you can learn so much more effectively. So I became super passionate about this point of fun while learning. I would let the kids skip rocks, and I would let the kids take their shoes off and get in the river a little bit to find bugs and insects. And I would let them smell the little berries that we find on the different trees, as long as I knew that they weren't poisonous. And I would let them explore and learn for themselves what nature was all about. And I went home every day and I would talk to my parents about, I wish teachers would teach more like environmental educators, where they would have fun and not just be in a classroom for 8 hours a day staring at pieces of paper. And my mom was eventually like, why don't you just become a teacher? And I thought about it and I was like, why don't I just become a teacher? That would be great. Not only do I think I would be a good teacher, I think I would have a lot of fun while doing it because I loved teaching the kids. I loved seeing how their brains worked, how they connected different things, how the different kids learned differently. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great career for me. Not just a job, but a career. So even though I'm not going to be an environmental educator forever, it really, really helped me find my path. I'm going back to college in the fall, and I'm going to work towards my teacher certification. So if you are at all interested in working outdoors, I highly, highly encourage you to do it. I thought this was just going to be a fun little job for me to do until I got back on my feet figuring out what I wanted to do for college, and it actually helped me figure out what I wanted to do. It made me redirect my entire life's path, and now I'm going to be a teacher, which I never thought I would do before. So if you are at all interested in working at some place like a nature center like I did, or a zoo, or a wildlife rehabilitation center, or anything outdoors or nature involved, I highly suggest you do it. It is a fantastic line of work, and even if you don't think it's going to give you a career, it just might, or even if you don't think it will, just do it for fun, because it is an incredible line of work, and I highly suggest everyone tries it at least once. Well, that's it for me. I don't really know how to end this video other than to say, go outside, go to your local park, your local nature center, your backyard, it doesn't matter. Go outside and explore, go play. It doesn't matter how old you are, go play outside and find something, discover something. You'll never know what you'll find outside. Bye!